Can we have everybody stand up, please? Honor Guard, present the colors. And salute. Two. Dismissed.
Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated.
Good afternoon, and thank you all for joining us today to honor our veterans.
The United States first celebrated the efforts of the servicemen of our country on November 11th of 1919, which President Woodrow Wilson proclaimed as the first Armistice Day. The day was used to celebrate the pride of Americans following the victory of the Allied forces in the First World War, and also recognizing the soldiers who lost their lives defending the freedoms of our country in this war. The day was originally celebrated by having parades, public meetings, and closing down businesses at 11 a.m. Though it was celebrated annually, Armistice Day did not become a legal holiday in the U.S. until 1938. Following World War II and the Korean War, many pushed for a day to honor the soldiers who fought in these wars as well.
In 1954, Congress amended their original act to replace the word armistice with veterans to create a legal holiday that would be celebrated for all members of the military who had fought to protect the United States of America. Former Supreme Commander and President Dwight Eisenhower was proud to be influential in adapting this day in order to celebrate all American veterans for their patriotism and their unconditional willingness to fight and sacrifice their lives for the love of their country. And we are happy to celebrate all of this today with you today. Thank you.
It is time to recognize all who have served or are currently serving our country by branch of service. Veterans, we ask that you please stand for your branch of service so you may be recognized. Would all members of the Air Force please stand up? You may be seated. Would all members of the Army please stand up? You may be seated. Would all members of the Coast Guard please stand up? Would all members of the Marines please stand up? You may be seated. Would all members of the Navy please stand up? Thank you for your service. It is an extreme honor to have you here in our presence today.
The Monroe High School choirs, led by Mr. Alex Lentz, will now perform in Flanders Field.
Thank you, Mr. Lentz and choir students, for that beautiful song. We will now be reading a poem called In Flanders Fields. It was written during World War I by Canadian physician Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae. He wrote it about some of the scenes in World War I. Poppies are an important piece of this poem because they are known as the battlefield flower. They are growing in between gravestones in this piece, and they are the first things to grow after the battle.
In Flanders fields, the poppies blow, between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky, the larks still bravely singing fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead, short days ago. We lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow. Loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you from failing hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep though poppies grow in Flanders fields.
Now, I would like to introduce our speaker, Mrs. Shonda Dupree. Mrs. Dupree is a librarian here at the high school. She served in the Air Force as part of the Commander Support Staff for 4 years. Please join me in welcoming Mrs. Dupree.
Thank you. Mrs. Dupree is short. So good afternoon. My name is Chandra Dupree, and I'm a staff member here at MHS. I would like to extend my deepest appreciation to Emily Bartles, Erin Speth, Mandy Dunham, and the FBLA officers who planned and organized this program for our veterans. We appreciate the time and effort you each put into continuing the tradition of honoring those who served and making this program special. Thank you, veterans, for attending today. Your contributions to our country and our community are priceless. Please know that you are valued and we honor you. I come from a generational line of veterans, as many of us do, and honoring their legacy has always been important to me. Both of my grandfathers served in World War II, my uncle's in Vietnam, and my husband is a Navy veteran. I too have served, and I'm thankful to be a part of the community that places a high regard on veterans and goes above and beyond to recognize them throughout the year. If you have a chance, please visit the memorial in front of the arch. And I wrote this yesterday when it was sunny. Now it's raining. The benches were crafted by students in our technical education department, and the materials donated by community businesses. You will notice that some of the benches are well worn from student use. And it warms my heart knowing that the students are reminded of the many veterans who attended Monroe High School and that their legacy lives on. There is also a display case filled with memorabilia and photos, which have been provided by district staff. Each year it continues to grow, and I am thankful to the community for allowing me to use these items to honor their loved ones. Veterans are a humble bunch. Chances are they feel honored today, but also awkward about saying you're welcome to those who thank them. We simply did the jobs that we were asked to do, even if some of those tasks were dangerous. So I ask you, fellow vets, let yourself be celebrated today. People want to show you how loved and appreciated you are. So suck it up and smile. The sacrifice of our veterans has not gone unnoticed, and today we reflect on the selfless service of the men and women who rose to the call to defend our nation. We can tell them thank you for your service, words that we know don't truly express our appreciation, but are still a small offering of gratitude for their sacrifice. My hope is that this program goes beyond that statement and extends to the community that we value all who have served and are proud of the boys and girls who ventured out as men and women to carry the burdens of defending our nation's freedoms. On the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918, an armistice was enacted between the Germans and the Allies to end World War I. This date was originally called Armistice Day, and 36 years later, President Eisenhower changed the name to Veterans Day, which commemorates veterans of all wars. We are not alone in celebrating Veterans Day, and although it's referred to differently in other countries, the date and the sentiment is the same. I'm proud to share in the global recognition of all veterans and appreciate you being here to acknowledge them with us. As we carry on with our daily tasks, let us be aware that we interact with veterans more than we realize. They are our grandparents, they're doctors, they are teachers, they're engineers, athletes, and artists. They are the myriad of colorful threads woven together to create the fabric of this exceptional nation. These men and women made the commitment to act upon whatever call our country asked of them. They have seen the unimaginable, endured the unthinkable, and overcame the impossible. Often they have returned to us incomplete, physically or emotionally, but they returned, and they carry on in their quiet way as civilians. If you observe closely, you can see them in the integrity with which they lead their lives, in the careful and calculated manner they complete tasks, and in the devotion they have to making this community and nation a better place. So I thank you again for being here to honor our veterans, and thank you, veterans, for your service.
Thank you, Mrs. Dupree, for all that you do here at Monroe High School and for serving our country.
Please join us in a moment of silence in recognition of the sacrifices of those who have served the United States and for our allies, their families, and those who paid the ultimate price in war.
We will now honor all veterans who have passed and members of the military who have fallen in action with the playing of taps.
Please stand one more time. Honor Guard, retire the colors. and salute. 2. On behalf of the American Legion and the Veterans of Foreign Wars, thank you so much for inviting us. That's it.
Thank you, veterans, for your service to our country, and thank you for taking time out of your day to attend this recognition assembly. Veterans are now dismissed to the cafeteria for coffee and treats. Students, please remain seated until all veterans have exited.
Thank you, students, for your attendance today. You are now dismissed.